The Hash It Out Show is brought to you by Barretto Home Solutions, Bayou Audio and Video, Hot Works on the North Shore, JFK Martial Arts in Mandeville and Covington, Black Hawk Hauling, Lil Dizzy's Cafe, Wags Food and Culture, Moe's Pizza, The Green Law Firm, Personal Injury Attorney, Drums Earwear.
Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Move, move, move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. 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 Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Move, move, move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, JB, the Sports Guy. We want to apologize to everyone for the technical difficulties that we had, but we are here, so we apologize for that. We got a great show for you all tonight. We're going to give you our picks for all the non-select second round playoff games. Of course, we got a special guest who made history this past Friday night. We'll get to him in a second, but I cannot do this without my two co-hosts. First off, you can catch this guy on CrescentCitySports.com, the one and only VK Jones. What's going on, VK?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? We appreciate you joining us. Thank y'all for all the support and patience tonight. Log on to the Hash It Out Show on all social media platforms, and also log on to the hashitoutshow.com for all our content. We definitely appreciate it. And we got a very good guest joining us tonight. A big time victory. A lot he had to overcome this year. We're looking forward to talking with him tonight.
Most definitely. And also, my other co-host you can catch on CrescentCitySports.com as well. Jordan.
Good evening, gentlemen, and it's great to be a part of it. This is going to be a great show tonight. We have a very good guest. I'm looking forward to talking to him. Maybe it's going to be a great show. And as always, we have great guests, but the picks is what everybody likes too. So we get everybody to tap into our infinite wisdom, and we did good last week. All three of us did, so that's a good thing. Credibility is a good thing, but we will also announce our game of the week this week, where we're going for the regional round of the 2023 LHSAA State Football Playoffs.
Well, GP, we're going to go ahead and announce that now. The Hash It Out Show game of the week is the Northshore Panthers taking on the Walker Wildcats. And our special guest for tonight, he is the head coach of the Northshore Panthers. We have head coach Bobby Sanders. Coach, thank you for joining us, and how you doing today?
Doing good, man. Thanks for having me.
Coach, I got to ask you, what was the feeling like when that clock hit zero?
It was a big relief. It was kind of touch and go there for a while. West Monroe's got a great team. We were kind of hampered a little bit on offense, majority of the game Friday night. So, like I told the kids today, I said I didn't care if we won 2-0. It doesn't matter. One more point than the other team, and like I said, it could have been as ugly as it was, and it didn't matter. I was ecstatic when the clock hit zero, and happy we got out of there with a win.
It was a tightly tough contested ball game, but when Jackson Fugate blocked the game-winning field goal that West Monroe attempted. What was going through your mind?
Well, it was the best. It's the best noise you ever hear when you're on that field goal blocking side. You hear thud, and man, I was crouched down at about the 30-yard line. I did a little sign of the cross, a little prayer, and sure enough, it looked like it came through for me. And I just couldn't believe it. By that time, it was just kind of pandemonium. They still had 16 seconds left on the clock. I was trying to get the victory formation out there so we could kneel it and get out of there with the win. I mean, I was still worried about something going wrong at that point, even still. But it was one of the greatest sounds you ever heard in your life. I know that.
West Monroe had a 29-game winning streak of winning first-round playoff games, but they had never lost at home. You guys made history about that. How do you feel about making history of being the first team to ever beat West Monroe in the first round of playoffs at West Monroe?
It still hadn't really hit me yet. We played those guys close 2 years ago. We lost to them in double overtime, and you kind of don't really know those things going into them. I mean, them being in North Louisiana and us being where we are, I don't really know their history very well. Other than that, they won a lot of state titles. They won a lot of district titles and everything. And it's kind of hard to believe when you kind of sit back and think about it. I guess it's neat. I told the kids today as we were closing the book on them getting ready for Walker. I mean, it's pretty crazy what they accomplished, and it's something they're always going to have, for the rest of their lives.
You just spoke about playing there 2 years ago. What was the mindset of your players going back to play at West Monroe?
I think it was a little bit different this time around because 2 years ago was my first year as head coach, and a lot of the guys were just happy to be in the playoffs again because we don't have this rich history and tradition at North Shore like a lot of other places do, and they were happy to be back there. And I was excited for them to get to play at a place like that, a stadium like that, and get to experience something like that, at least to get something good before they graduated because those seniors that year had been through so much with COVID and 0-10 season and a bunch of other things. So we were kind of just happy to be there. And this time, I think the mindset was a little bit different going in. You know, not to be intimidated by going to a place like that because of the way we played them 2 years ago. And I hope going in year 3 now we have kind of higher expectations on what we were planning to do when we got up there this time around. So I think they went in with the right mindset and just kind of refused to lose.
Talk about your defense. How impressive of the performance they put on at West Monroe against them?
It's it had just been West Monroe. It's been a whole season. I mean, I tell people this all the time. If it wasn't for I don't know who the offensive coordinator is for North Shore, but he's not doing the best job in the world. It's me, by the way. So I can be critical, but I think like if we do things differently, I guess early in the season, we're easily looking at possibly 9-1 right now. We've done so many things to kind of self-inflict wounds on ourselves. The defense, I mean, our worst loss of the season, aside from our Dutchtown loss week 1, was by Salmon week 2, and they beat us 10-3. And the only reason they scored is because we threw a backwards lateral that they scooped and scored. They didn't even score an offensive touchdown against us. So the defense, I can't say enough about. They've kept this season together for us. They've kept us in every game, and it's just been incredible. That whole staff, starting with my DC Austin Bellamy, my linebackers coach, who I had to throw a shout out to, Mike Mutin, my D-line coach Nick Piccone, my secondary coaches Joe Guyton and Mike Laverdet. I mean, they've done a fantastic job on that side of the ball. We got a lot of returning starters, a lot of game experience coming back, and they've just been. I can't say enough good things about them. We wouldn't be where we are right now without them, and we definitely wouldn't have won the game Friday night without them.
Before I pass it on to VK Jones, everyone who's watching us, click that subscribe button, please. Like and also share this. Coach, last question from me before I pass it to VK. You have the Walker Wildcats this upcoming Friday night. What are some of the things you've seen on film about Walker?
The biggest thing, they're very well coached. I mean, coming with Coach Mahaffey, he's going to put together a really good staff, and with him kind of being established over there, coming in from U High, they're very well coached in all 3 phases of the game. Defensively, they're very sound with what they do. They're very similar to us, as far as scheme goes, and then offensively, They're explosive. They got a history of guys coming out of there. I mean, you think of guys like Brian Thomas Jr. and some of these others that have graduated. They always have athletes like that at the receiver position and the skill positions. And, Coach Mahaffey's always got a few tricks up his sleeve each game. It seems like he's got 2 or 3 or 4 trick plays that he always hits on. So, they're very well coached. And, again, you're in the playoffs. Every game's going to be tough. But, we really got our work cut out for us again this week for sure.
Coach Sanders, man, we appreciate you having us on the having you on the show and everything. And
I appreciate
I guess this is what, fourth edition of Ballman on Campus. So
it. Uh-huh.
that's a good thing, because I'm just
Yes,
saying,
sir.
because we didn't have a few guests that has fit our mantra, so that's a good thing. But
Uh-huh.
regardless of the fact, we appreciate you joining us, and gotta ask you this first question off the top. You
Uh-huh.
overcame a lot this season. One of the biggest things you had to overcome was one of your best players transferring, and that's Cohen
Mm-hmm.
Rowbottom. For him transferring at
Mm-hmm.
the same time as Aquinas, and you said at the beginning of the season you wished him well, but then on top of that, we're going to continue forward to try to have a good season. And y'all been a
Uh-huh.
fighting team, and now y'all guys in the second round. What you can say about overcoming that, but also overcoming a lot of challenges throughout the season?
It's yeah, it was a unique situation because with him being a big basketball guy, and I kind of just let him because we didn't really know what his future was going to be, and whether the big thing with these guys, we want them to get obviously good education coming to North Shore, but if they have the opportunity to play at the next level and get free tuition and get a scholarship somewhere, I'm all for it. And he was kind of in a unique position to be able to do it in either basketball or football. And he was getting a lot of looks at the time in basketball, so we kind of let him just do his AAU thing over the summer, while we were working out, and it was just kind of on hold for a while and stuff. And he decided to transfer out. He had his reasons and stuff, and like I said, I wished him well and everything. But we had some plans, we had some backup plans kind of going into it. And I don't even call it a backup plan because the guys that we got there now, Bryce Cherry and Ramon Williams, especially in the backfield, I thought all along that those two guys were capable of doing it, and they were with us all summer. So while it was, it was an adjustment on both sides of the ball because he played defense for us as well as offense. I thought the guys have handled it really well. The other guys have stepped up in his place, and I'm sorry. And you know, I thought it went about as well as it could go. I think the stuff that we were dealing with early on wasn't so much about him. It was just kind of trying to find an identity on offense and just kind of get back into the swing of things on defense.
Man, and with that win last week, it serves a testament. And me and the guys talked about this, how tough your district is, and it's a very
Mm-hmm.
tough district that any team out this district could possibly make a big run. What you can say about that?
I agree with you 100%. The coaching in the district's really good. We kind of all know each other inside and out, like a lot of districts and things. But it was really a toss-up kind of heading into this year. If you look back a few years back, it was always seemed like it was St. Paul's and Mandeville, and most recently Ponchatoula with their state title appearance 2 years ago. There haven't been really the last 2 years any kind of clear cut standout team. And it really was this year like anybody could beat anybody. I mean, you couldn't look at common opponents and how this team did against this team. And, you know, our two district losses were to St. Paul's and Covington, and we lost to St. Paul's by 2, and we lost to Covington by 1 in week 9. And, a couple of other games were close just the other way with us in favor. So, it definitely prepared us for this postseason, and hopefully, again, it helps us this week against Walker.
What you can take from last weekend, like you on that ultimate high, how do you approach this week, bringing the team down from that emotional win and say, hey, we got to get ready for these guys out of Walker Friday and do what you got to do. We got to do to try to get the win.
Yeah, it's a big concern, because I know today, especially just getting back to school, getting a lot of pats on the back, still great job and everything like that, which they earned, and they deserve to hear that. And it's the kind of the big thing we kind of preach all year. When you're out on the field, it doesn't matter whether we're playing Archbishop Hannon in our fall scrimmage, or Jesuit in a jamboree, or we're going into week 2 of the playoffs, your level of play shouldn't change based on what the situation is or who you're going against or anything like that. Because that's the one thing we preach all year is consistency, and your opponent shouldn't ever determine how you play the game or anything. So, we expect them week in and week out to go and just consistently do what they're supposed to do at a high level. And it's a lot easier said than done. And I think you see that at all levels of football. That's why they have letdowns in college and in the pros when teams should win and they don't win because whatever they're worried about, whatever they're worried about. But that's a big concern heading into this week. And I think we watched enough film today to see how good Walker is, and our 100% of our focus now should be on Walker, and that's where it needs to be for us to be in the right mindset come Friday night.
Pass it over to George Peppers. I come out to do the game on Friday night. We appreciate the opportunity to do the game. I have young Walker and proud Friday for the game opportunity to every deep play.
I'm sorry, you cutting out on me there a little
You
bit.
breaking up, VK.
Oh, and Friday night, uh,
We gonna pass it to George Peppers, VK. Pass it to George Peppers, and we come back to you. Go ahead, George.
Coach Sanders, yeah, I got you. Coach Sanders, first off, let me give you my congratulations on a Titanic win at West Monroe. Uh,
Thank
my
you.
first question, it's well deserved considering you went up there and battled those guys for 48 minutes and got the job done late, able to get a blocked field goal. But first question to you, what does it mean for North Shore to be hosting a second round regional playoff game on campus this Friday night?
It's pretty unbelievable. I can't in the history of the school, I can't say whether or not this happened. I don't think it has happened before. So it's pretty big. I mean, we got excitement buzzing already. I'm hoping we have a packed house. And last year was our first home playoff game, and I can't even remember how long. But second round, I don't think it's ever happened before. So hopefully, all our students and fans and parents and family come out and support it, and hopefully we have a packed house because it's a pretty serious accomplishment what these kids have done.
Considering that you've won at a perennial power like West Monroe, and now you get Walker, who's well coached by Chad Mahaffey, who's won state titles at ULAB. You mentioned it earlier, and you've seen him on
Mm.
film. When you look at keys to this game Friday night against Walker, granted you're hosting it, but what's it going to take from your guys to pull this thing out and get yourselves to a quarterfinal spot?
I think it's going to take more of the same from our defense. I think our special teams is going to need to step up in a big way, and offensively, we got to find a way to put points on the board. And I think that's pretty much the bottom line. Like I said, more of the same defensively, more of the same with special teams. Been really really good lately. Um, but the big thing offensively to find a way to one either control the clock and eat up that time of possession and put our defense in good situations to have rest and do what we got to do to put points on the board. But it's kind of been our formula recently, running the ball and converting first downs and, finding whatever we can to do to generate, whether it's a field goal or whatever, just do something to give our defenses a rest. And, it's just a different animal now. We have to find and come up and be creative with ways to do things on offense, whether it's different personnel groups or, whatever it may be. But we got to find a way to start scoring some points.
You know it's good when you're the 25 seed and you win a first round playoff game, and the chat boxes in the message boards from the Rebel fans after the game were crying and complaining about officiating and whatnot. You know you're doing something when you got those people rapping in a bad way. It's like, man, why don't just give you guys credit in winning? But I also want to say we're honored to be broadcasting your game Friday night. We're honored and deeply thankful that you've given us this forum to broadcast your game Friday night against Walker. Speaking on behalf of my hosts, my co-hosts. So we thank you for
Uh,
that opportunity, and we're going to embrace it. It's going to be a great atmosphere. Um, last question before I flip it back over to, I
Mhm.
guess, going back to VK, JB, because he cut out, or
Oh, I'm good.
anyway, you mentioned the
Yeah, I
excitement. No, no,
appreciate it. I'm
continue.
glad. I'm glad to
Okay,
have
y'all
you
can hear me.
guys out there. Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm glad to have you guys out there. And
It's a good
you
thing.
know, I understand some of the complaints the West Monroe fans have. Um, you know, but I'm not going to really complain about it at this point in time.
Okay, as you shouldn't. I mean, you're playing, they're not. So let's look at it that way. They're staying. They've already turned their stuff in for the winter. They'll be back in spring, but you guys got a second round playoff game. So there you go.
Yep.
Last
Great
question before
program,
I
by the
flip it.
way, West Monroe.
Exactly, a perennial power, and that's what makes it even more special. That a program like North Shore can step up and go get that game on the road. Uh, my last question, backtracking to that game, going
Hmm.
in, what was leading in? You guys played them close a couple of years ago. Um, Going into the last week, the mindset of your team going up there. I mean, they see the seating. Some kids are going to see it 25 at 8, and then it's a 6 hour, 5 hour, 6 hour trip. What was
Hmm.
the mindset of your team going into that game last Friday?
The big thing I tried to preach to them is just really to keep the morale up. Because when you look at it, like I said, aside from the Dutchtown game week one, they put it to us pretty good. And I thought they were the better team at the time. Other than that, we had four losses. Um, by combined 15 points. And like I said, our worst loss was to Salmon 10-3. Then other than that, we had a 5 point loss to Hornbill, a 2 point loss to St. Paul's, a 1 point loss to Covington. So I think if things go a little bit differently, we're a lot higher than the 25 seed. But it just so happened to turn out that way. And I did that for a couple of reasons. One, to keep the morale up, like I said, and just to let them know how close we were to being able to accomplish some goals and get our expectations where they were, which was high, and kind of get us back on track with that. So I think that combined with a couple things, just kind of the way we had been playing, the way we had kind of stuck together, which was a big thing because early on, we start out 0-3, things weren't really going our way, and it could have been really really easy to pack it in and point the finger and this and that. But instead of really doing that, I'm talking maybe from a defensive perspective, those guys didn't point the finger. They were great teammates to the offense, and they picked us up and they held us in games, long enough to where we can kind of find our way a little bit to generate some stuff. And I think just them, like I said, we had a lot of senior leadership, and like I said, a lot of guys with playing experience, and they did a great job of holding everything together. Like I said, and just coming together as a team, and not pointing the finger, and just playing good team football. And nobody was selfish, and nobody, like I said, was pointing fingers and stuff. And I think that's kind of got us where we are right now.
VK,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Coach, I got to ask you this, and I think you're a Catholic league, I believe. You know what I'm saying? I think you're I think you went to Rummel, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you come from the Catholic league in itself and everything.
Hmm.
How was making the adjustment from the Catholic league coaching to the North Shore, and it seemed like you're really getting things together, and it seemed like you're starting to get used to what the rugged life is outside of the Caddy League, especially in the North Shore district.
Yeah, I mean the kids are the same. It didn't matter where I was at. The kids are the same wherever you go, and it's just a different environment. But the one thing I wanted to bring that I from the Catholic League over to North Shore was just kind of try to build some kind of history and some kind of tradition because that's so big in the Catholic League, and every school's got their own little niche, and we had our thing at Rummel. Every school out there has their thing. And when I got to North Shore as the offensive coordinator, the COVID year, I noticed it was just kind of bland. They didn't have much tradition or much history or anything. And that was the big thing. The big selling point to me was like I would start with a blank canvas, and I wanted to take some of those things that I had seen and some of those things that I admired and been a part of that I found made football for me special when I was in high school, and kind of try to bring that over and instill that, so when these guys graduate and they're down the road 15, 20 years and they're going back to North Shore, it's something that they're going to remember, and something, it's going to be special to them, something that they could take pride in, and that was the big thing. I want them when they leave there, to battle for North Shore, to, represent North Shore and be proud of that history and that tradition that they were part of and that they're building. And that was, like I said, the biggest difference I noticed going from the Catholic League to the North Shore District. And it wasn't just, I can't speak for teams like Mandeville or St. Paul's who already had that kind of tradition. I guess we're fairly new, being that the school opened in 1982. Um, but just to be a part of that and try to bring some of that, like I said, what I brought from me from being in the Catholic League over there is basically what the goal was with North Shore, and hopefully something that we can continue to do for a very long time.
Coach Bobby
JB.
Sanders, we want to thank you. We truly appreciate you being here with us. Good luck to you Friday night. We'll see you Friday night also, as we call in the game. But thank you, Coach, for joining us tonight. We truly appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys having me on, and looking forward to seeing you Friday night against Walker High. So thanks again for having me, and go Panthers.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Coach.
Yes,
All right.
sir. Thanks, Coach.
Bye.
That was Coach Bobby Sanders. Everybody who's on right now, please click that subscribe button, click the like button, click the share button. We thank everybody who's tuning in with us tonight. VK, I'll start with you first. You and I and George Peppers, we all were calling the Bell Chase Cardinals versus the Parkway Panthers game, but we had a close eye on this game when we saw the scores. And we saw 7-0 for a long time, West Monroe. Then we saw 7-6. Then we saw 9-7. The game ends, the Bell Chase Parkway game ends, and we go down there, get our interviews, talk to these coaches, and we come back. Parkway defeats West Monroe. We knew it was history being made. We know how hard it is to win in that stadium.
We mean
Bobby
North
said,
Shore.
North Shore. I'm sorry. I apologize, everybody. I apologize. It is what I meant. Just sorry. But North Shore and Coach Bobby Sanders making history will forever be known as the first team to beat West Monroe in the first round at home. Your thoughts?
Well, you just know great things come to an end. You know what I'm saying? There's been plenty of streaks have been broken out of South Louisiana. South Louisiana opponents have ended a lot of things. You have to think about this. Um, Long time ago, West Monroe has not did not lose to a non-district opponent ever at home until Carver High School comes there and gives them the defeat. Paid Carver to come up, and Carver beats them, give them their first ever non-district loss. Then all of a sudden, years and years later, a long time later, Acadiana comes up there, and
Right.
Acadiana goes up there and defeats them, beats them up their first loss ever at home in the playoffs. Now you look at it, it's not really just the fact that here's another thing that happens that here comes North Shore, that ends their regular season undefeated streak. But then you look at other history like St. Augustine comes to Washita, ends a 14-year unbeaten streak in the playoffs. Then here comes Edna Carr, who ends a 18-year streak for Neville. So great things usually comes to an end, but you gotta have your mind right and come up there and win for North Shore. That's a great resilient win after all they had to overcome all season. And I mean, 7-0 for the longest, for them to score a touchdown, miss an extra point, but for them to bounce back, kick a field goal to win the game, but not just that, lock the field goal to win it. That's big for Bobby Sanders. You could just tell he's a really good coach, really good character, and everything else. But for him to get it done, that's big for them. And what's the reward? A big time home game coming up.
George Peppers, your thoughts?
As far as North Shore winning that game, look, good things come to an end. Like VK said, he's absolutely on point. And, West Monroe has done this to a lot of teams. put them out of the playoffs and this, that, and whatever. I think they got served up a big dosage of humble pie Friday night. I guess they looked at Northshore, and I'd be willing to venture to say that they thought they were going to steamroll them. Oh, they got that. They got, they're good to go. It's a 25 seed. They can't win this game. They got to get on the bus. hmm Well, like I said with Coach Sanders, who's playing this week? It ain't them. It's North Shore. But it's a like VK said, it's a resilient win. But now, what's going to be interesting for this week? How do they rechannel, refocus, and get off the pedestal of beating that team and hosting who I thought and before the playoffs started, I had said Walker would make a very deep run. And I thought if Walker would have played West Monroe, I'm going to tell you right now, I would have picked Walker to win that game. I would have just straight up told you guys I would, but you know what? It's not Walker and West Monroe. It's North Shore Walker. We're not going to pick it because we're calling it. But it's going to be it's going to be very good effort, a very good game Friday night. I anticipate a defensive struggle. I do. I think that game could be defensive oriented, and if it does, that could favor North Shore. You know, Walker does have the premier offense, but defense wins championships. And I'm not saying this team will, but that Panther defense showed you Friday night, 48 minutes. They dug in, got the dub, and they deserve this opportunity.
I said a prayer, really. Got down on a knee, did the sign of the cross, and I don't know. Maybe I need to pray more. I don't know what it was, but I didn't know what to expect really.
West Monroe had
J, JB, I can't. We can't hear you. Your mic's off.
I had it on mute by mistake. With the problems we got, I had to mute it so we don't hit an echo. But anyway, that was Coach Sanders, and you could hear how ecstatic he was after the win and the excitement in his voice. VK.
Oh my God. I mean, his excite. He just knows that he came here trying to build a program from the ground up. And moments like this, like he mentioned his first year, they went down there and to try to do a job and getting that experience right there. But I think that experience was a different, especially for those seniors. They felt like, hey, we're coming there to finish the job that we started.
Yeah.
And that's what they did on Friday. They came there, fought hard, and finished the job. That's a sign of a good team. I expect this game Friday night is going to be hectic Friday night. It's going to be a huge, huge crowd. Don't be surprised if be standing room only because Walker's going to be bringing some people. They're making it. This is a second round appearance for them. I think the furthest they have been probably has been a quarterfinal appearance before. So they're trying to get there. It's going to be a huge crowd Friday night. We're looking forward to being there. Coach Sanders is was honored. He's very thankful for the opportunity to be on the show, and they're thankful for us to come over to get the opportunity too as well. So North Shore fans and the Walker fans who don't make the game or at the game, please tune in. We'll have the link for you before Friday night. I'm telling you, you're not gonna regret it. But we'd like to thank the audience from last week, Parkway and Bell Chase. We had our biggest output of the year. We didn't have some good numbers throughout the year, very consistent, but this was our biggest output of the season. We'd like to thank all our Hash It Out fans, including the Parkway fans, and the Bell Chase fans who tuned in to our game last week. We're expecting as good as last week and more. We want more. We want this more of a bigger audience this week, man, because we know big these fan bases, especially for Walker. So
We
come on,
want
check us
we
out.
want North Shore and Walker to beat what we got last week. That's what we
Yes,
want.
yes, we wanted to beat it.
That's right.
If y'all want to beat this audience we had last week from Bell Chase and Parkway, they have set the tone so far this season, and not just that for the postseason. Walker North Shore, it is your turn. It's
And
your turn. Break it. Break this record.
with that being said, we're gonna take a quick commercial break. We're gonna come back and pick the games of every non-select playoff game in the second round, except for Walker and North Shore, because we're calling that game, so that wouldn't be fair. So we'll be right back with this quick commercial break. Stay tuned right here on the Hash It Out Show.
You're watching the Hash It Out Show!
Hands up, hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Move, move, move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. 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 Hands up, hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Move, move, move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning.
Welcome back to the Hash It Out Show. I want to play a little something. First of all, shout out to all of our Patrick Taylor fans. And as you know, Patrick Taylor with the big victory over Sophie B. Wright this past Friday night. But somebody ran into him at a Raising Cane's. Who was that person?
Hey, now, look, I just came here to get something to eat. That's all I did. I just came here to get something to eat, and I ran into some nice people, guys. JP, George, nice people.
What's up? Let them know who you are.
SMT Spider loves you. Oh, yeah, this the...
Hey, give us a hand.
We ran into the Patrick Taylor football team. Patrick Taylor football team who just defeated Sophie B. Wright in the playoffs. Congratulations to them, man. They won. A special shout out to the Hash It Out Show. You know what I'm saying?
Monday night, 8 o'clock. See you down.
Appreciate it.
Special shout out to Patrick Taylor, VK Light. Special shout out to the Hash It Out Show. No, that's a special shout out from us to Patrick Taylor because she's doing the videotaping. And look, Miss Shannon Rogers saying she would be there for the show tonight. And there she is. Yep. We here. Miss Shannon Rogers. Thank you, Miss Shannon Rogers. And she thanks you too, VK. She thanks you too, man. And you know, what a special season Patrick Taylor is having. And you know, the president of their fan base, the one and only, George Peppers. Ain't that right, George Peppers? Where's George? George!
GP.
GP!
Oh. Does Mike go?
Nah, I got no. We'll get GP back. He'll come back in a second. But anyway, man. Special shout out to... Go ahead, VK.
I gave him a special... I just said special shout out to them. From the Hash It Out Show. I did say that on the video.
It sound like it. It sound like it.
Yeah, so you got to clean your ears and check it out. You know what I'm
saying? You better speak more clearly next time than you said it. But let me start messing with you.
But it was just the fact it was funny because I'm going to get something. Now George kind of missed it a little bit, and I hate for him to miss that. You know what I'm saying? But I was hungry. I needed a little something. So I stopped by, and all of a sudden, I see a couple people coming out their cars. And I'm like, I know it's a quiet night a little bit, but I'm like, wait a minute, they're wearing blue. And then all of a sudden, I see Ethan Tran coming out of his car. I'm like, that look like Ethan Tran. That is Ethan Tran. So I come to find out a good bit of the Patrick Taylor football team was in there. Hey, let me drop this quick video for y'all, especially for George. You're like, hey, this is what you kind of missed, my friend. You know what I'm saying? You know, but it was good to see them in there. what they
Let's
done
get
last week was tremendous in itself. Big
definitely.
time for Patrick Taylor. Congratulations going to
Let's
them, Kenny Bourgeois and that staff.
let's get George thoughts right quick. GP.
I feel like a moron. I really do. I'll just say it straight. I apologize to you guys at Patrick Taylor. I had a fixing for something else Friday night, and I should have followed VK. I should have followed him. I really should have, and I didn't. And when he dropped that video, I was like, "Where's the nearest dunce hat? You know, the dummy cap. You know, a paper bag." But to the Patrick Taylor team, look, y'all know how much love we got for y'all, but I do have to announce that VK picked Sophie B. Right last week. So the true rep wasn't there. It wasn't me. It was not me. Um, but no, to you guys, best of luck in round two at University Lab. It will be a very tough task, but you guys are going to battle for 48 minutes, represent that school proud. And whatever happens, happens. Win or lose, it's been one heck of a run for you guys.
Most definitely. And Miss Rogers, make sure you're back here Thursday at 7 o'clock. Make sure you're back, okay? We want you back. All right, let's get into these brackets right quick, fellas. Let's give these people our thoughts on who we think are going to win. Westgate defeated Terrebonne 27-10 as we start the Division 1 non-select. Now Westgate has to go to Ruston. What we do know is Jabari Antoine did not play in the game against Terrebonne. So more than likely he might be playing this game, which makes it even harder to pick if he is, because this is totally different if he's playing. Hmm. I think Ruston. I think Ruston gets it done. And I'm one that never picks against Westgate, but I think Ruston might get it done. VK Jones.
I think this is going to be probably the best game in the second round. This is going to be a very good game, especially with, possibly Antoine playing. And if he does play, it's going to go down right to the wire. But I'm going to go with Rustin to win this one in a squeaker.
George.
I don't know if this is going to be that close. And here's why. If Jabari Antoine plays, yes, he's an absolute difference maker. But asking him to go against that defense at Ruston in a second round playoff game, and Ruston's already muted Jawan Johnson this year from Lafayette Christian, and Jabari is I don't think he's at Jawan's level. I see Ruston winning this game by 2 scores. I mean Westgate, a lot has happened to them with the injury, but you're asking him to make his first start off of it on the road. I don't see it happening. I don't see it
George, they
happening.
still saying they can't hear you, George.
Oh goodness gracious! I'm picking Ruston to win.
All right, George. George is picking Ruston. He's picking Ruston. All right, moving on. Walker and Northshore. We're not picking that because we're calling it. So let's go to Saint Amar, Mandeville. I got Saint Amar. Who you got, VK?
I got to tell you, man, Mandeville's making a really good run once again. But this great story of Saint Amar is going to continue. Saint Amar.
All right, George. Just tell me who you got, and I'll tell the fans.
Mandeville. I picked them for a semifinal. I'm riding the Skippers. Let's go.
George has Mandeville. Moving on. Nope. Southside at Airline. Man, I think we got a good one on our hands. I got Southside going to Airline and win. I know Kenny says they have some injuries that they're dealing with, but I think Southside will go to Airline and get the W. VK.
I know Airline's been having a really good year and everything else, but Airline's defense is not really that good. But then on top of that, Southside, very battle tested. Playoff experience is going to play a factor. I got Southside winning that game.
All right, let's see if we can hear GP. Kenny says Airline close. George.
Me again. You.
George.
All right. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
All right.
Your pick?
Southside Airline, right? That's the game.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yes.
VK, you stole my thunder, baby. I was going that route too. I'm gonna ride Southside. They played in a better district. Airline's defense is a little haggard. I think Southside gets the W.
Okay, George says Southside fans, Southside. Destrehan versus Bell Chase. Destrehan, VK.
Wildcats will get it done. They'll move on.
George.
Thank you, Bell Chase, for allowing us to do the game last Friday. And you suffered too many injuries. Destrehan, they'll win big.
George says Destrehan. Salmon goes to Zachary. Zachary.
Zachary, a little bit of a better team. I think Salmon's gonna be ready to go, but I think Zachary's a better team. Zachary gets it done.
George.
Closer than you think, but I think Zachary gets it done.
George says Zachary, everybody. George says Zachary. All right. Dutchtown hosting Chalmette. Woo! Look, VK, this might be a tight ball game. It really might be tight. But I think Dutchtown pulls it off in a close one. Who you got, VK?
I think this is gonna be a close one too. You know, I like Chalmette's gonna take him down to the what, but I like Dutchtown pulling it out.
All right, George, tell me who you got so I can tell the fans.
Close game. Chalmette with a gut check win last week. Dutchtown, close.
George has Dutchtown, everybody. George has Dutchtown. And Central of Baton Rouge going to Neville. Oh boy, can Central keep it rolling? I think Central plays Neville close. I think so, but I think the Neville Tigers come out with the win. I have Neville. VK.
This is a toss up here. This is a real toss up because we know Neville's trying to get back to the swing of things, especially back to being consistent this year. This Central team is so battle tested. And I tell you one thing, man, I'm gonna say it once and I'm gonna say it again. There's chinks in the armor at Neville. They have not been the same since Nicky McCarty retired and became principal. They've not been the same. I hate to do this. Central for the upset.
Okay, George, who do you have? Let me know so I can tell the fans.
I'm gonna go Neville, but close. Neville close.
George has Neville close. All right. My boy Nick Campbell. The Nick Network, he has Neville by 21. Now he says by 12. Okay, I got you. Division 2 non-select. North DeSoto taking on DeRitter. North DeSoto.
North DeSoto and DeRitter in Division 2. Okay. I got North DeSoto.
You got North DeSoto. All right.
Yes,
That's
sir.
what I'm talking about, man.
Yes,
North
sir.
DeSoto, who's going back to the dome.
Yep.
All right. Let's see who George got.
Let's make it 3. North DeSoto.
Okay, George has North DeSoto, everybody. George has North DeSoto. Plaquemine versus Iowa. I got the Jackets winning again. I got Iowa. BK.
You got the Jackets. I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna go with the Jackets too. They're a little bit more experienced. Expect this to be tight, but Iowa pulls away.
Let's see what George got to let the fans know.
That's a close game. Plaquemine's a tough team, but I don't think they got what it takes to get it done. Iowa gets it done.
George says Iowa, everybody. George says Iowa. Opelousas traveling to West Feliciana. West Feliciana a semifinal team last year. Not this year. Opelousas goes into West Feliciana and gets the win. Opelousas Tigers with the win. Who you got, VK?
I think that tough schedule is going to really help Opelousas. The hard work is going to pay off for Jimmy Zachary in his squad. Opelousas with the big win.
All right. Let's see what my guy George says. Like I tell y'all.
Well, I mean, the three of us are going to agree on a 12 seed beating a 5. And guess what? I got Opelousas as well.
Yeah, there you have it. We all got Opelousas. DJ13, what's happening? Yeah, it was tight early. It was tight early. I saw it on YouTube. I saw it. It was tight early, man. But y'all got the victory. Y'all did that. Congratulations to McDonald 35. No. I didn't want to do that. Sorry, wrong thing. There we go. Assumption, Psych, Abbeville hosting Luncher Bulldogs. VK.
I agree. I think it'll be close throughout, but Lutcher has a big fourth quarter and gets it done.
All right. Let's see what George says, everyone.
Nice job, Abbeville, on the season, but Lutcher, with the pedigree, finds a way, and they win it.
There you have it. We all say Lutcher. Assumption hosting Bro Bridge. I'm going to go with Assumption. I think Assumption gets the job done. It won't be easy, but I think they win. VK.
I think this game is going to be really close in itself. I would want to go the other way to try to fight all Jared, but I'm gonna agree with him. I think Assumption has overcame a whole lot to get where they are. Now I think Assumption will get it done.
Let's see what George says.
I have Assumption, but it's gonna be a dogfight for 4 quarters. Mustangs win it. Assumption.
George has Assumption. Moving on. Northwest hosting Wassman. Wassman.
Wassman.
Let's see what George says.
Let's make it a clean sweep again. Wassman Wildcats get it done.
We all say Wassman. St. Martinville, the big win over Leesville, going to Jennings. Can St. Martinville do it again? Book it. St. Martinsville wins again, gets to the quarters over Jennings. Book it.
I tell you, St. Martinsville has really, they've really like kind of overachieved themselves this year. They really,
You mean
especially late in the
underachieved?
season.
Underachieved.
Well, underachieved themselves late in the season more than anything else. They was expected to do some great things. They had gone through some tough things to go through that, and now they are at home, host the second round game against Jennings. Whew, man. I would want to go the other way, but I'm not gonna lie. That momentum is big right now for St. Martinsville. I got St. Martinsville winning this game too.
And they're at home. Let's see what George says.
I think that's going to help them out a lot that they'll be home. But Jennings is a team that usually has a couple of good runs in them in a playoff setting. St. Martinville had a disappointing season. They got it right last week at Leesville. But I think Jennings gets it. I'm going to go Jennings.
George is going Jennings. And Iota traveling to Cecilia. The Bulldogs of Cecilia gets it done.
I'm like this. Cecilia is Iota had a good showing last week, but Cecilia right now is on another level. Man, Cecilia, name your score.
Let's see what George says.
I don't know about naming a score. I do think Cecilia wins this game convincingly, though. Cecilia.
George says Cecilia. All right. Now we're going to go to Division 3 non-select. Gina versus Caldwell Paris. Gina.
Gina Giants gets it done second round.
See what George says.
I've said ad nauseum, Gina has a special team this year. They've already cracked Caldwell Parish. They'll do it again, and do it again convincingly. Gina to the quarterfinals.
All right. Now, Jules Sumner hosting a meet. A meet. VK.
Expect this game to go down to the wire. Joe Sumner has not been here for nothing, and they're trying to get over the hump, especially beating a meet. It's going to be a very close game, but a meet will pull it out.
George.
Amy doesn't feel like a team that can make a deep playoff run. I mean, they won. They have a very winnable matchup here. I'll take them trepidantly, but I think Amy pulls this out, but I'm not 100% confident.
George says a meet, but he's not confident in them. Bogalusa hosting Lauraville. I'm going Bogalusa. VK.
Bogalusa, big, going to the quarters.
Let's see what my guy George says.
I'm gonna go Bogalusa. I'm gonna go with Bogalusa there as well. Louisville, solid team, but the Lumberjacks have something going. Still, Crutchfield's on his way to the quarters.
Port Allen at Union Parish. Port Allen with the upset win over St. Helena, but no upset win this week. Union Parish with the victory. VK.
I got to agree with you. Port Allen making a nice run here, but I think Union Parish, it'll be close early, but Union Parish settle down and get it done.
George.
Size does matter. Union Parish is bigger in the trenches, and they'll lean on that, and basically power their way through. Union Parish.
George says Union Parish. St. James versus Northwestern. Give me St. James. Who you got, VK?
It's a rematch of a playoff matchup 2 years ago, and it's going to be interesting in itself. I got the Wildcats. Don't be surprised the game is close early because North Webster, them seniors remember that game, and they're going to be coming ready to play, ready to swing. So it will be interesting early, but St. James will settle down and get it.
Let's see what George says.
I think this game is a dominating effort. St. James dominates this game from start. They win big.
George says St. James. South Plaquemines going to Manny. One of the last times I picked South Plaquemines to lose, Coach Lyle Feet, Coach, he was very, very upset with me. So was his wife. And his wife is my cousin, actually. They were upset with me that I picked, other team to win. They didn't like it. Sorry, Coach Feet. I don't see y'all beating Manny. I hope y'all do. I really do. I want y'all to, but I don't see it. Manny.
Well, this should be interesting in itself. And
hey, Miss Pam
I
Bobby
said it,
Biggs. Hit that subscribe button, please. That subscribe button. Hit the like. Also share this, Miss Pam Bobby Biggs. We appreciate you so much. Go ahead, VK.
and taking a look at this matchup, I think South Plaquemines is very, very battle tested. And they do have some real decent size and everything else. And they're gonna have to play a little bit of keep away, especially from Manny, but Manny's a little more powerful and everything else. But at the same time, Manny's not the same since Coach Curtis has left that program. They're not the same program. So guess what? Coach Lyle, I got your back. South Black for the upset.
George.
Yes, sir. man, come on, Thunder Stealer. Jesus, I was hoping it was just me. I'm going with the Hurricanes. I got South Plaquemines. I am not sold on many being that team that can make that semifinal pop. South Plaquemines are going to upset them people.
Hmm.
VK and George have
2
South
for 1.
Plaquemines. I have Manny. Oh boy. All right. Pine hosting Avoyals. Avoyals with the big upset over Kinder. Can they do it against Pine? Oh, it's gonna be close, but I'm gonna go with Pine. VK.
Should be a very, very close game. Boyles really overcame some things to get that win more than anything else. But it's going to be very close going down to the wire. But the Pine Raiders is going to get it done.
All right. Let's see what George says.
I want to. I really do. Y'all know my affection for Boils High. I work with those guys for a couple of years. They're a good program. They do things the right way. But this is asking a lot. Pine gets it done.
There you have it. George says Pine gets it done. We got Brian Pichon. He says the Panthers will take down Walker. Brian Pichon, us three, we're not able to say who will win because we are actually calling that game Friday night between Northshore and Walker. But we do appreciate you for coming on and checking us out. Hit that subscribe button, hit the likes, share it amongst your peers, your friends, your family. Share it amongst them. We truly appreciate everybody from Northshore and Walker who have been in the chat tonight. Moving on, guys. Mansfield at Sterlington Thursday night at 7 o'clock. Sterlington. VK.
Sterlington moves on quarterfinals.
George Peppers. Oh, sorry, George. My fault. Go ahead,
No,
George.
you good. Sterlington, and we can move on without any provocation. Sterlington, easy.
George says Sterlington. Now, going to Division 4 non-select. Last one for today. We'll be back Thursday as we'll do the Division 1 select. But here we are, Division 4 non-select. Franklin, Logansport. Franklin with a big win over Grand Lake by 33 points, but I think Logansport will get the win. VK.
Logansport, they've been really, really consistent, and they're winning the games that they're supposed to win, especially deep in the playoffs. Long time ago, they used to couldn't get over the hump. Now they're doing it. Logansport will get it done.
George.
Logansport.
George says Logansport, everybody. All right. White Castle going to Welsh. Give me some Castle burgers, please. White Castle gets the win. I'm going with White Castle. Who you got, VK?
I have to agree with you. Big shout out to the principal who knows a couple of my people well, Mr. Robert Primus, who's the principal at White Castle High School. This is going to be a very good game. It's going to come down to the wire. I got White Castle.
George.
Oh boy. I'm gonna go White Castle as well. Good game though. I think White Castle gets it done.
Jeanerette hosting East Feliciana. Jeanerette.
Well, this one I'm gonna go the other way. I mean, Jeanerette struggled against West St. John and had to barely got it done 12-6. And you expected them to step it up another notch against East Feliciana, and they're doing it without Trades Green, who transferred. This team is hungry. I like East Feliciana.
George.
Survive in advance, VK. That's what the playoffs are. Generate did that. They'll handle East Feliciana. It won't be a good night for either Feliciana, West or East. Generate.
George says Jeanerette. General Trash going to Haynesville. Tornadoes, Haynesville. VK.
F5 tornado ending the season. Not saying in a bad way, but them tornadoes are gonna be too much for General Trash.
George.
Haynesville. Too much playoff pedigree and experience. General Trask not ready to win this kind of game.
George says Haynesville also. Oak Grove hosting Lake Arthur. Oak Grove. VK.
Oak Grove, name your score in this one.
George.
I mean, there's not much to say, is there? Oak Grove should win.
We all say Oak Grove. Centerville going to Mangum. Mangum.
The Dragons advance to the quarters.
George.
I'm going to go Mangum as well. Centerville, good young program, but Mangum gets it done.
All right. Homer Oakdale. Yeah, I think we got a good one on our hands in this one, fellas. A good one. But I got the Pelicans of Homer with the win. VK Jones.
The Homer Pelicans will get it done. It'll go down to the wire. Should be a really, really good game.
And George.
And those Pelicans are going to do what the New Orleans Pelicans have not done. Win. Homer is my pick here.
We all say Homer. And last, Faraday at Kentwood. Give me the Kangaroos of Kentwood. VK.
Pretty much the same. Give me those Kangaroos as well.
And George, who you got?
Kentwood. Make it unanimous. I'm going to go Kangaroos as well.
So we all have Kentwood. All right. That are our picks for Division 1 non-select. Like I said, we'll be back Thursday at 7 o'clock, special time. Thursday, 7 o'clock, right here with the Division 1 select picks. Well, the select picks, all 4 divisions. And we might have a special guest also. So we're working on that also. But yes, Kenny, we can still do that right now. A moment of silence for the guy who picked Buckeye to defeat De La Salle, the one and only VK Jones. What's up, VK? Picking them Buckeyes to beat De La Salle. Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And a moment of silence for a couple of picks y'all had, and I beat y'all out on. So
yeah, but no, they were not worse than this pick here. They were not worse than this pick. This was the worst pick. And if we could really hear George, I'll put George in this right now, but we can't really hear him today. Part of these technical difficulties that we've had today, and we apologize for all those today, but we thank each and every one of y'all that was with us today, the Northshore, the Walker fans, the new fans, and our casual fans that were here. Oh, man. But it was fun today. We're back on Thursday. VK, any last words before we go?
Well, bounce back time this week. Bounce back time this week. I had a nice week. It wasn't as bad. We know George had a huge week, but it is what it is. This week is the comeback time. So it is what it is, and Buckeye, thank you very much for making me look bad. Thank you. But regardless of the fact, we're looking forward to this Friday night's game. And I tell you, man, this is gonna be fun. I'll have to turn on the call, and we gonna bring it, man. So North Shore and also Walker, come on and break this record, man. Come on through and let we have a bigger audience this week, man. Make the Hash It Out show look great, man. We're continuing. We want the greatness to continue.
Definitely. Somebody asked earlier. I meant to answer them earlier, and I do apologize. Where we got the headphones from. So, Drums being one of our sponsors, they donated each one of us these headphones. I know you can't see George. George does have a pair. He has a red pair. VK has blue. I have gold. You can go on the website, Drums. Not drums that you think how it's spelled. Drums like this. JRUMZ.com. JRUMZ.com. Ethan Bartholomew or Ethan Bartholomew. We love your questions. What is your question? Bring it to us. We are ready for this. We are ready for your questions. I love it when our fans have questions for us. Yes, I am ready for this. But yes, drums, JRUMZ.com. And they have all type of headsets, all type of stuff for sale. Yes, sir, VK.
Mr. Kenny, Romalet. Oh, if I butchered your name
Ramande,
right.
Ramande,
Ramande,
Ramande.
Ramande,
Ain't
Mr.
no love, no
Ramande,
love. No, he's still LA at him.
Mr. Ramande. We're still waiting on our dinner, man,
I
from
knew
from
that
that
was coming.
Central Catholic game. We're still waiting down there, brother. You know what I'm saying? You got the cash app up, and if you need it again, I'll put it to you at the same time. We're still waiting.
I told y'all this is what he's waiting for. He's just not gonna just send y'all money. Go, go, tell him the price, and then he can cash app it to y'all. But let's answer Ethan Bartholomew's question. And I'm gonna get George in here, and I'll see what George says. Kenny say y'all going double or nothing.
Oh, when you want to go double or nothing? What game is that, my friend? Huh? That's what I'm wondering.
Hold on, let me get George. George, are you going
Go ahead.
double or nothing with Kenny?
I don't know. It's got to be a game that me and VK agree on. I can't let the man do what he did last week. In a moment of silence, I want to address the moment of silence. The fool and his picks are soon parted. Buckeye had no shot. We told you they didn't have a chance. We did. But stubborn as he is, BK said, I'm going to get y'all. But it was fun when you guys were updating that score Friday night. And Jared kept looking at VK and just shaking his head like, poor unfortunate soul. Just looked at him like, poor baby. This guy smoked. But it's okay. One of my friend whose son plays for De La Salle told me, he goes, man, tell your friend what was he thinking. I said he wasn't. I saw him Saturday, and he was like, tell your friend what the heck was he thinking. And he told me, and I told him, I said he really wasn't. I mean, he had a moment, he had a brain fart, huge one too. So, but I'm looking at the question.
Yeah, you go ahead.
What is that? I mean, what does A have to do endure? I don't know
A
what he's
coach.
referencing.
Coach,
He's asking, what does a coach have to endure before he makes an adjustment? So it's a lot of things and a lot of ways you could look at it. You know, depending on the type of game plan he has, and the game plan is not effective, then it can change it. Let's say, for instance, defensively, they're playing a passing team. They're playing in a lot of zone. Okay, they're beating you in your zone. Okay, so within the first two quarters, or maybe at halftime, you make the adjustment to change to man to man or change the type of zone you're in. Um, Offensively, you want to run the ball against a team, but you're not running the ball. So what can you do? This is Bell Chase, for example. Bell Chase ran a spread, and the spread wasn't working. So Bell Chase went to a seven lineman front, seven linemen to run the ball, which became more effective. We saw Jacob Blake and Jaden Voisin able to run successfully when they went to a seven down lineman and got out the spread. They had more blockers now to get up there. So it just depends on what's working and what's not working. That's how it is. VK, you want to answer that right quick?
I definitely can agree with that. I'm gonna answer it. It's sometimes coaches have to endure some kind of adversity, or not just that. If he sees something early, and he sees something not just wrong offensively, but also defensively, and he sees like, okay, this is not working. We need to make the adjustment quick. Sometimes they'll make it at halftime, or sometimes they'll make it quick, 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 and be like, all right, we got to stop this here. So it's a lot. It's one adversity. Two, if you see a little something, a discrepancy, like timing or something like that, like if like we've seen a lot lately where the center quarterback snap has been a little off on some teams, you know what I'm saying? And it's late in the season. It's not supposed to happen now. So it's almost like, okay, what kind of adjustment we need to make here to make sure that don't happen, or make the adjustment that okay, we need to get the timing all pat. Like sometimes certain coaches, like I'm gonna say this, like Kenny Bourgeois, what he has done in 2 games against Sophie B. Wright, the little adjustments, the little things he made to just have Patrick Taylor to come back to win both of those games, especially those playoff games. I mean, it takes a lot. If the thing about that is this, if this is a lesson for Coach Dorsey as well, and I know Coach Dorsey is learned and he's done a great job at Sophie B. If that team is making adjustments and starting to come back, you got to come back with an adjustment too. You got to come back with an adjustment too more than anything else. Like I said, this is chess, not checkers. This is chess, not checkers. So you have to counteract whatever the coach throws at them. Because we've seen some answers, for example, the Parkway Bell Chase game. Like when Parkway made that thing a little close, made it interesting, cut it a touchdown. What Bell Chase did, they went right down, answered with a big time pass, which could have been knocked down, but Bell Chase made the play and they scored on that drive, and they really started to pull away from there. So the thing is, it's chess, not checkers. Bottom line.
Let's get George in here quickly. Go ahead, George. George. Must have lost George. Must have lost George again. All right. So, with that being said, Miss Shannon Rogers, Ethan Bartholomew, and everybody else that's watching right now, we'll see y'all on Thursday. Make sure y'all back here Thursday, 7 o'clock. Does quick adjustments have anything to do with experience? Yeah.
Absolutely.
I would say a coach with a lot of experience coaching would know how to make quick adjustments very quickly. I would definitely say that. VK, you agree?
Yes, absolutely. Experience does a lot, and the thing about it makes a coach's job a little more easier when you have experience, because the fact of the matter is they know how to make the adjustments quick, especially what they know how to adjust what the coach is telling them more than anything else, especially with the game plan, how to switch things up and stuff like that. Inexperienced player, it's a little tougher because the fact of the matter is it's going to have to go by repetition to understand what they need to do. And Jared, you've been there before as a karate instructor when you have a younger person that's in there who does not have the experience.
Correct.
And you're going to go over things multiple times so they can understand it, because especially if a person ain't never played football or a person who has hardly hit the field, that's teaching moments. There's a whole lot of teaching you got to do, and coaches sometimes have to be very, very patient. Sometimes it'll really get on your nerves.
We thank you all for joining us tonight on the Hash It Out Show. We're back Thursday at 7 o'clock, so make sure you guys are here. We would love to have you all back. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Like, share. If you watch it on Facebook or YouTube, like and share it with your friends, your family, everybody. We're back Thursday at 7 o'clock. For George Peppers, for VK Jones, I'm JB the Sports Guy. We'll see y'all Thursday. Y'all take care.
You're watching the Hash It Out Show!
Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Move, move, move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. 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 Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Move, move, move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning.
Thank you for watching the Hash It Out show.